Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Genesis 37 to 45, Proverbs 8, and Psalm 19. Let's start. Jacob lived and learned his father's James and again. These are generation Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was passionate and flock with his brothers. He was a boy with the sons of Bilhah and Zilpah, his father's wife. And then Joseph brought a bad report of them to their father. Israel loved Joseph more than any of his sons. Because his son was old age, he made him a robe of many colors. And then when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and couldn't speak peacefully to him. Joseph had a dream. When he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more. He said to them, "Hear this dream that I have dreamed. Behold, we were binding sheaves in the field. And behold, my sheaf arose to stir up rain. Behold, your sheaves gather round and bound unto my sheaf." And his brothers said to him, "Are you indeed to reign over us? Or indeed to rule over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams for his words. Then he dreamed another dream and told it to his brothers and said, "Behold, I have dreamed another dream. Behold, the sun and moon and 11 stars are burning down to me." And he told it to his father and to his brothers. His father rebuked him. And I said to him, "What's this dream that you have dreamed? Shall I marry your mother and your brothers indeed to bow ourselves to them for you?" And his brothers rejoiced in him. His father kept saying, and his brothers went to pasture his father's flock near Shechem. Israel said to Joseph, "I know your brother is pasturing the flock at Shechem. Come, I'll send you to him." And he said to him, "Here I am." So he said to him, "Go now, see if it is well with your brothers with the flock, and bring me word." So he sent him from the valley. He ran and came to Shechem. And a man found him wandering in the fields. And the man asked him, "What are you seeking?" "And I am seeking my brothers." He said, "Tell me, please." So then they are pasturing the flock. And said, "They have gone away, for I had not said, let's go to Jotham." So Joseph went after his brother, found out Jotham. They saw him from afar before he came near till they could spy against them to kill him. He said to one another, "Here comes the stream, come now, let us kill him and throw him into one of the pits. And we'll see their face and we'll throughout him, we'll see their walls become as strength." When Reuben heard it, he rested him out of their hands, saying, "Let us not take his life." And Reuben said to them, "Shed no blood, throw him into the pit, he and the ones, and do not lay a hand on him. He may rescue him out of their hand to restore him to his father." And Joseph came to his brothers, he stripped on his robe, and the robe made cast the evil. And he took him and threw him into a pit, and the pit was empty, and there was no water in it. And he sat down to eat, and looking up he saw a caravan of Ishmaelites coming from Gilead, with the camels bearing gum, balm, and myrrh, on the way to carry down to Egypt. And Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him. He is our brother, and our own flesh." And his brothers listened to him. And eating like trees passed by, and Judah Joseph up and lifted him out of the pit and sold him to Ishmaelites for 20 shekels silver. They took Joseph to eat, and his brother returned to bed, saw that Joseph was not in the pit. And he tore his clothes and returned to his brother and said, "The boy is gone, and where shall I go?" And they took Joseph's robe, slaughtered the goat, and dipped the robe in the blood. And I sent the robe many colors and brought it to the father, and said, "Yes, we found. Please identify whether this is son's robe or not." And he identified it and said, "It's my son's robe." With the sound of the valley, and Joseph was without doubt torn to pieces. And Jacob tore his garment to put sackcloth on his loins and myrrh for some many days. All his sons and all his daughters were to comfort him. He refused to be comforted and said, "No, and shall go down to shelter my son and marry." This father wept for him. Meanwhile, the Midianites had sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh and a captain of the guard. After that, the time that Judah went to for his fathers and turned aside to serve Adonai. His name was Terah. And Judah saw the daughter of a certain king, whose name was Shua. He took her and went into her, and she conceived bore a son, and he called his name Mother. He conceived again bore a son, and she called his name Onan. And again she bore a son, and she called his name Shelah. Judah was in Cheshire when she bore it, and Judah took a wife for his first one, and the name was Tamar. And Judah's first one was wicked in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord put him to death. And Judah said to Onan, "Go into your brother's wife, and form the chief of battle Lord. Go to Oshni for your brother." Onan knew that Oshni would not be his. So after he went into his brother's wife, he raised the seam on the ground, so as not to give Oshni to his brother. And all that did was wicked in the sight of the Lord. He put him to death. So then Judah said to Tamar's daughter-in-law, "Remain a widow in your father's house, until Shelah my son grows up." He feared that he would die and like his brother, so Tamar went and remained in her father's house. And he caused Tamar, wife of Judah, Shulah's daughter, to die. When Judah was comforted, he went up to Timnah to his sheep shearers, he and his friend Ahira the Adullamite. When Tamar was told, "Your father-in-law was going to Timnah to shear sheep," he took off her widow's garments and covered herself with a veil, wrapping herself up, and sat at the entrance to her name, which was on the road to Timnah. For he saw that Shelah was grown up, and she had not been given to him in marriage. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, for she had covered her face. He turned to her at the roadside and said, "Come, let me come into you." He did not know that she was her daughter-in-law. She said, "What will you give me? Leave me come into me." He answered, "I'll send you a young goat from the flock." And she said, "If you will give me a pledge until Sunday," he said, "What pledge shall I give you?" She replied, "You save me in your court, you stop this in your food." And he gave them to her and went into her, and she conceived by him. And then she rose and went her way. Taking off her veil, she put on the garments of the widow. And Jesus sent the young girl back from the Adullamite to take back the pledge from the woman. He did not find her, and he asked them in the pledge, "When is the court prostitute?" Her name on the register. They said, "No court prostitute has been here." So he returned to Judah and said, "I have not found her." So the men replied, "No court prostitute has been here." And Judah replied, "Yeah, keep the things as are, which shall be laughed at. You see, I sent this young girl, and you did not find her." About 3 months later, Judah was told, "Tell me your daughter-in-law has been immoral." However, she is pregnant by immorality, and Judah said, "Bring her out, and let her be burned." And she was being burned, she sent word to her father-in-law. I abandoned him these belong, I pregnant. She said, please identify who these are. I signed and called and stopped, and Judah identified them and said, he's more rich than I, since I did not give it to my son Shah. And he did not know again. The time of the labor came to their home. No twins in a room, and she was in leg. One put out her hand. The midwife took and tied a scarlet thread on his hand, saying, this one came out first. So he drew back his hand, behold, his brother came out. And she said, what breach have you made for yourself? And if his name was called Paris, after his brother came out with a scarlet thread on his hand, and his name was called Zer. Now Joseph had been brought down to Egypt, Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, the captain of the guard, and the Egyptians brought him from the Ishmaelites who had brought him down there. The Lord was with Joseph, and he became a successful man in the house of his Egyptian master. His master saw that the Lord was with him, and the Lord caused what they did succeed in his hands. And Joseph found favor in the sight of him. He made him overseer his house and put him in charge of all they had. From the time they made him overseer his house and over all they had, the Lord blessed the Egyptians' house of Joseph's sake. The blessing of the Lord was on all they had. In the house of the fields he left all they had in Joseph's charge. And because him he had no concern about anything but the food he ate. Now Joseph was handsome and full in appearance. After the time his master's wife cast eyes on Joseph and said, lie with me. And he freely said to his master's wife, behold, because of me and my master no concern about anything in the house. And for everything he had to my charge, he's not great in his house. Then I, nor has he kept back anything from me except you. His yours wife, how then can I do this great wickedness against God? And she spoke to Joseph that day after he would not listen to her till I beside her will be with her. And one day when he went to the house to do his work, and none of the men of the house was there in the house, he called him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And she left his garment. He left his garment in her hand, and fled and got out of the house. And as soon as she saw that he left his garment in her hand, and fled out of the house, she called to him in her house and said to her, see, he's brought in among us. And he began to laugh at us. He came into his place and cried out with a loud voice. As soon as he heard that, I lifted my voice and cried out. He left his garment beside me and fled and got out of the house. And she laid his garment by him until his master came home. And he told him the same story, saying, and the Hebrew son whom you brought among us came in to laugh at me. And as soon as I lifted my voice and cried, he left his garment beside me and fled out of the house. So his master had the wisdom to respect it. This is the way he so entreated me, his anger was kindled. And just his master took him and put him into the prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined. And he was there in prison. The Lord was with Joseph. And he showed him steadfast love and gave him favor inside the keeper of the prison. And the keeper of the prison put Joseph in charge of all the prisoners in the prison. When that was done, that he was the one who did it. The keeper of the prison paid no attention to anything. And as in Joseph's charge, because the Lord was with him, whatever he did, the Lord made it succeed. Sometime after this, cupbearer of the king of Egypt and his baker committed an offense against the Lord, the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was angry with his two officers, chief cupbearer and the chief baker. He had them custody in the house of the captain of the guard. And in the prison when Joseph was confined, the captain of the guard appointed Joseph to be with him. He attended them. They continued for some time in custody. And then one night they both dreamed, the cupbearer and the baker of the king of Egypt. And he confined the prison, each his own dream, each dreamed his own interpretation. And as he came to the morning, he saw that they were in trouble. And as Pharaoh's officers were with them in custody in his master's house. And he faced down custody, he said to him, we have had truth. And he went to interpret, and Joseph said, your interpretation belongs to God. He said unto me, and so the chief cupbearer told June, Joseph said to him, and Jane does will find before me, and undivided thy 3 branches. And as soon as the brothers blossomed shot forth, the custody wrapped into grace. And his cup was in my hand, and took the grace and pressed it into Pharaoh's cup, and placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said to him, this is his interpretation. 3 branches, 3 days. In 3 days Pharaoh lifted over your head, and you saw each of the officers. He shall place Pharaoh's cup in the head's hand as homely, and you his cupbearer, and they remember me as well with him. Please do unto kindness to mention me to Pharaoh, and so good me out of this household, and do so in the land of Hebrews. Yes, I have done nothing, they should put me to pay. The chief baker saw the interpretation was faithful. He said to Joseph, and I had a dream. There were 3 cake baskets on my head. In the uppermost basket, all the sons were being food for Pharaoh. And the birds were eating out of the basket on my head. And Joseph answered and said, this is interpretation. 3 baskets are 3 days. In 3 days Pharaoh will lift your head from me and hang on to you. Others will eat the flesh from me. On the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, he made a feast for us and was left with the head of the chief cupbearer and the head of the chief baker among the sons. He saw the chief cupbearer to his position and placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. He handed the chief baker Joseph interpreted to them. The chief cupbearer did not remember Joseph but forgot. And after 2 whole years, Pharaoh dreamed he was nearby the Nile. And behold, they came out of the Nile 7 cows, attracted and plowed, and they went and fed in the reeds. So 7 of the cows after they came up out of the Nile after, and stood by the other cows on the bank of the Nile. And with the cows, the 7 attracted the plump cows. And Pharaoh woke, and he fell asleep and dreamed 2nd, and behold, 7 years great, plump and good, with growing almonds, so behold, often sprout 7 years, then by the east, when the thin years swallowed the plumps 4 years. And Pharaoh woke, and behold, the Lord dream. So in the morning, Pharaoh shall eat and called before the magician, and all his wise men. Pharaoh told him his dreams, and the man who could interpret them to Pharaoh. And the chief cupbearer said to Pharaoh, I have known my offense today, when Pharaoh was angry with his sons, and put me and the chief baker in custody. He asked the captain, we dream on the same night, he and I each having a dream with his own interpretation. Young he was there with us, so the captain and God. And he told me interpreting dreams to us, giving an interpretation to each man according to his dream. And he interpreted it to us, so he came about, still 12 as the baker was hanged. And the first called Joseph, and quickly brought him out of the pit. And he shaved himself into his clothes, and became before Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, I have had a dream, there is no one who can interpret it. I have had it said, be the one you hear a dream, you can interpret it. Joseph answered Pharaoh is not me. God give Pharaoh a favorable answer. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, behold, a man dreamed last day on the banks of the Nile. 7 cows plump and attractive came up out of the night from the reed. 7 of the cows came up after, growing very ugly and thin, such as I had never seen in all my age. And thin and ugly cows ate the first 7 plump cows. When he had eaten them, no one would have known they had eaten. And they stood ugly as a pig, and now like I saw my dream 7 years growing on one store full of good. 7 years with it, then blighted by the east wind sprout after, and then it swallowed the 7 good years, and it told to a magician there was no increase in energy. And Joseph said to Pharaoh, the dreams of Pharaoh one. God revealed to Pharaoh what he was about to. 7 good cows 7 years, and 7 good years of 7 years, and dreams of one. 7 lame and ugly cows that came up after them were 7 years, and 7 empty years blinded as neither east wind, those 7 years of famine. As it is, as it told Pharaoh, God has shown to Pharaoh what he is about to do. There will come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and after them will rise 7 years of famine, and all the plenty will be a forgotten in the land of Egypt. Famine will consume the land, all the plenty will be unknown in the land, in any reason for famine, and therefore it will be very severe. And doubling of Pharaoh's dream means that the thing is fixed by God, and God will surely bring it about. And therefore let Pharaoh select the discerning wise men, and send them over the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh proceeded to appoint overseers of the land, and take 1/5 of the produce of the land of Egypt during the 7 plentiful years, and then gather all the food of the land in these good years. Then come in sword, grain, and the authority of Pharaoh for 3 of these years, and then keep it. That food shall be reserved for the land of the 7 years of famine, not to occur in the land of Egypt. So the land may not perish with the famine. His proposal pleased Pharaoh and all sons. The Pharaoh said to his sons, you can find a man like this, who is the Spirit of God. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, since God has shown you all this, there is none said to say otherwise to you, only you shall be of my house, and all my people shall order themselves to you. When he regards the throne, will I be greater than you? And Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I have said you have all the land in Egypt. And Pharaoh took a signet ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand, covered him garment of fine linen, and put a gold chain around his neck. He made him ride a second chain, and he called out before him, bowed the knee, and he set upon him over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without your consent, now I shall lift up my hand. And therefore in all the land of Egypt, Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphenath Paneah, and he gave him in marriage to Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, his honor. So Joseph went over the land of Egypt. Joseph was 30 years old when he entered the service of Pharaoh king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went to all the land of Egypt. During the 7 plentiful years, the earth produced abundantly. He gathered all the fruit of these 7 years, which occurred in the land of Egypt, and the fruit in the seas, and people had received the fruit from the fields around it. And Joseph's store growing in great abundance like sand in the sea, until he ceased to measure it, for it cannot be measured. All the year of famine came, 2 sons were born to Joseph, Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest On, both the 2, and Joseph called the name of the first one Manasseh, for he said, God has made me forget all my hardship and all my father's house. The name of the second he called Ephraim, for God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. The 7 years of plenty that occurred in the land came to an end. The 7 years of famine began to come, as Joseph said. I surrounded all lands, and all the land of Egypt that was bread. All the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. Pharaoh said to all the Egyptians, good to Joseph, what he says to you do. So when the famine spread over all the land, Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold to the Egyptians. The famine was severe in the land of Egypt. However, all the earth came to Egypt to Joseph to buy grain, because the famine was severe over all the earth. And Jacob learned that there was grain for sale in Egypt. He said to his sons, why do you look at one another? He said, behold, I've heard that there is grain for sale in Egypt. Go down and buy grain for us there, that we may live and not die. Returning Joseph's brothers went down to buy grain in Egypt. Jacob did not send Benjamin. Joseph's brothers for fear that harm might happen to him. Thus the sons of Israel came to buy among the others who came for the famine that was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was governor over the land. He came from among such other people. And Joseph's brothers came balanced up with their face to the ground. And Joseph's brothers recognized that he treated them like strangers, spake laughing to them. Where did he come from? They said, from the land of Canaan to buy food. And Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. Joseph remembered the dreams he had dreamed of the land. He said to you, spies, you come to see the nakedness of the land. And he said to no, my lord, sons come to buy food. We are all sons of one man, we are honest men, sons have never been spies. He said to no, it's the nakedness of the land that you come to see. And he said, we sons of 12 brothers, but sons of one man in the land of Canaan. You are the youngest as this day with our father, and one is no more. And Joseph said to his eyes and said to your spies, where this shall be tested out of life fair, you shall not go into this place unless your youngest brother comes here. Say one of you, let him bring you about, will you remain confined, and your words may be tested. Whether there is truth in you, as well life affair, surely your spies. You have them all together in custody for 3 days. On the 3rd day, Joseph said to do this in your life, for I fear God, if you're honest men, let one of your brothers remain confined, but you are in custody. Let the rest go and carry grain for the family household, bring your youngest brother to me. So your words will be verifying, you will not die. And they did so. They said to one another, truth you are guilty, consider your brother. And we saw the stress of the soul which he begged us, and we did not listen. That's why the stress had come on us. So Reuben answered, did I not tell you not to sin against the boy? He did not listen, for now there comes a reckoning for his blood. He did not know Joseph understood that for those in the chapter. Returning, they turned away from their work. He turned to them and spoke to them, and took some men from their band and 4 days. And Joseph gave order for their bags of grain to replace every man's money in sack, and to give them provision for the journey. This was done for them. And he loaded the donkeys that grain upon his one, opened a sack to give his donkey for that they were lodged in place. He saw his money in the mouth of the sack. He says, brothers, my money has been put back. Here it is in the mouth of my sack. At this their hearts failed them, and turned trembling to one another, saying, what is this God has done to us? And then they came to Jacob their father, and came to tell them all that happened to him, saying, and the Lord lends we were offered to us took us to spies, and he said to me, honestly, we have never been spies. We were told by sons our father was no more the youngest of this day, and our father the land came. And the man of the Lord land said to us, by this I shall know the honest way. Leave one of your brothers with me, and take grain for the family households, and go away. And you youngest spoke to me, I shall know you not spies honest way. I'll deliver your brother to you, you shall train the land. And empty the sacks behind every man's bundle of money was in the sack. And they and their father saw the abundance of money they offered. And Jacob their father said, you bereave me of my children. Joseph is no more, and Simeon is no more. Now you take Benjamin. All this has come against you. And the Reuben said to his father, kill my 2 sons, if I don't bring them back to you. Put them in my hands, and I'll bring them back to you. He said, my son shall not go down with you. And his brothers, he is the only one left. If harm should happen to him on the journey that you are to me, you will bring down my grey head as large as hill. Now the family stood in the grain that they brought from Egypt. And the father said to him, go again, buy us a little food. And Judah said to him, there is only one to say, you shall not see my face unless your brothers with you. If you have sinned above us, you will go down and buy you food. And if you have not sinned, we will not go down. For the man said to us, you shall not see my face unless your brothers with you. You shall say, why did you treat me so badly? Tell me that you had another brother. They replied, the man questioned us carefully about your sons, and not interested. Is your father still alive? Do you have another brother? Well, we told him was an answer to these questions. Could we in any way know that he would say, bring your brother down? And Judah said to Israel's father, send the boy with me, and we will rise and go that we may live and not die. Both we and the ones, I'll be a pledge of safety from this night. From my hand shall be required. You do bring him back to you and set him before you, and let me buy the land forever. If we had not delayed, we would now return twice. And their father Israel said to him, food must be saved in goods. And you saw fresh fruits in land. In your bags, carry a present down to him, and a little balm and a little honey, gum, pistachio, nuts, and almonds. Take double the money with you, and carry back with you the money that was returned after your sack. Now it tells him, so take us your brother and rise, go against him. And God Almighty grant you mercy before them. And you send you back your older brother and Benjamin. As to me, if I'm bereaved, my children I'm bereaved. So the men took this prison and took double the money with them. And Benjamin, they arose and went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. And Joseph and Benjamin saw Benjamin with him, sent to his student's house. And the men to the house, thrown out and make ready. And when the men out to die with me, and did as Joseph told him, brought the men to Joseph's house. And the men was quite afraid. They were brought to Joseph's house, and they said, it is because of mine. And she replaced in the sacks the first time that we had brought it. So then he made sorts of 4 pounds to make a stand to see the donkeys. So he went to the steward of Joseph's house, spoke with him at the door of the house, and said, and my lord, we came down the first time to buy food, and we came to a lodging place to be over that sack. Now to each man's money in the mouth, his sack, and the money forward. So we brought it again with us, we brought our money down with us to my food. And you don't know if you put our money in sacks, he said, please do you, don't be afraid. You got into God and father to put treasure in his house for you. I received your money. And he brought Simeon out to them, and the men had brought the men into Joseph's house good and water. They washed their feet, and he gave them the donkeys for. And they prepared the present for Joseph to come in. They had that they should eat bread. And Joseph came home and brought it to the house, and the present that they held with him, and bowed down to him to the ground. He inquired about the wolf and said, your father, well, the woman who was free is still alive. They said, so our father's one, he's still alive. They had their heads prostrated themselves. And therefore his eyes saw his brother Benjamin. His one son, he said, is this youngest brother with whom he spoke to me? God be praised to you, my son. And Joseph cried out for his companion, and showed great warmth for his son. He saw a place to eat, and he entered his chamber and saw that he washed his face and came out. And he controlled himself to serve the food. And he was served him by himself, and then by themselves, and the Egyptians who are with them by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat with the Hebrews. As the abomination to the Egyptians, sat before him the first one according to his birthright. The others according to his youth. The man looked at one another in amazement. Horses taken to them from Jacob's table, and Jacob's portion was 5 times as much as any of theirs. And Jacob were married with him, the commanders to the house. And all the men's sacks were filled, much as they could carry, put each man's money in the mouth of the sack. But by cup and silver cup, the mouth of the sack, he young with the money for the bread. And he did just told them. And as soon as the morning was light, the men went away with their boats. Donkeys they gone in a short distance from the sea. No distance, just you up, fall after me. You take them and say to him, however you repay you for good. It is not from this that my logic say, and this day practices to nation. Well, you don't even do it. If you ever took me so to these words, and it why was my Lord speak such words? It is far from it. Yes, I did do such a thing. Well, the money that you found in the master was actually brought back to you from the man king. Now then, could we steal silver gold from the Lord's house? Whichever your sons you found with it shall die. We also be my Lord's son. He said, as busy saying, found with it shall be my servant. And the rest of you shall be innocent, and each man could be Lord. I said to the ground, each man opened his sack. He searched, began with the eldest, and ended with the youngest, and covers found Benjamin's sack. And he told the good thieves, every man loaded his donkey, they returned to sea. And Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house and stood there. They have all performed to them. Joseph said to him, what is this you have done? Do you know that a man like me can indeed practice divination? And Judah said, what shall I say to our Lord? And shall I see, how we can clear ourselves? God has found out the goodest sounds. Behold, we are my Lord's sons. With me and here, and whose hand the cup is with her. He said, far be it from me that I should do so. And then in whose hand the cup was with her. Shall be my son, as you go, go up in peace to your father. And Judah went up to him and said, O my Lord, please say this, speak a word to my Lord's ears. You know your anger burning against his son, for you like for yourself. And the Lord asked this servant, saying, how your father, or brother? He said to my Lord, We have a father, not man, even brother, the child of his old age. His brother's dead, he's alone, has left his father's children. And his father loves me, and he said to his sons, bring him down to me. I'm set my eyes on him. He said to my Lord, the brother cannot leave his father. He should leave his father would die. And he said to his sons, unless your youngest brother comes down with you, you shall not see my face again. We went back to his son, my father. You heard the words of my Lord, when my father said, go down by us a little bit. He said, we cannot go down, for your youngest brother goes with us. They will go down, for you cannot see the man's face unless your youngest brother goes with us. And he said, my father said to us, you know, to my wife bore me 2 sons, and one left me. I said, sure, he's been torn to pieces. I have never seen him since. He takes one rest from me, and harm happens to him. He bring to my grey hairs, and he would show. Therefore, as soon as I come to my son, your son, my father, he was not with us. And his life is bound up in the boy's life. As soon as he sees that the boy is not with us, he will let die. And his sons will bring down the grey hairs, son, my father, so it shall. And it became a pledge of safety of the boy to my father. My father saying, if I don't bring him back to you, I shall bear the blame before my father all my life. Therefore, please lay son over me, and say the boy is a savage and the Lord. And let the boy go back to the first. How can I go back to my father? The boy is not with me. I fear to see the evil that will befall my father. Proverbs 8. Does not wisdom call, does not understand the ways of wisdom, has to the way because she takes the answer to the gates of front of the town. Enters the porch, she cries out, dear man, I call my Christ to children. As the boys like prince, of fools lands, as here if I speak noble things, from my life. Oh, and my master of the truth. Wickedness is abomination to my lips, and all the words of my mouth are righteous. There is nothing twist or crooked to them, they are all straight to him, I understand. And then right to this final note, take my instructions so and knows rather than twist go. Wisdom is endures, and all that he does I can compare with him. I have wisdom to experience, and the final knowledge integration fear the Lord's nature, even by now is the way evil and provides speech I hate. I have counsel and wisdom, I have inside strength, by making it when rules decree was just. And be principle, but I know we will govern justly, and those who is seeking diligently find me. We shall not with me enduring wealth and righteousness, and fruits within God even final. And may other choice of walking away of righteousness, deposited in justice. Your inheritance those who love and filling his treasures. Lord possessed me at the beginning of his work. The first is actually all ages ago settled with the first before the beginning of the earth. And then no dust was brought forth, the only springs of God before the man had been shaped. All the hills was brought forth, before he made the dust the earth with fierce. Lord the first the dust of the world, when he established heavens as there. He drew circle on the face of the earth, and he found God's love. He established fences of the deep, and sent to see his letters, the Lord by no transgressors come. He marked down the foundations of the earth, and was present out like a monster backman. For his daily still I rejoicing before Moses, rejoicing in his hand of the Lord, and delighting in the children of men. Now says this to me. I said there's keep eyes, his instruction be wise, doing like back. I still want to listen to you, watching do that my gates, waiting beside my doors. Who will find me finds that pertains to fear from the Lord. Or your face to find the angels self, or hear me love death. Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims the handiwork. The day to day pours out speech, and night to night reveals not. There is no speech, nor there was, whose voice not heard, their voice goes out through all the earth. Their words to endure, and he's so thankful, so which comes like a bridegroom leaving his chamber, like a strong summer and scorched joy. It's rising from the end of the hands, and so to end. There is nothing hidden from its teeth, and the Lord's perfect, revive and soul. Testimony is the Lord's true, and making life simple. Grace to the Lord of right, reduce the heart, command of the Lord is pure, and letting the eyes pray the Lord is clean, enduring forever. Yours the Lord are mature and righteous, altogether more to be desired than the go. Here much fine gold, sweet in the high, and driven so high. Wherever by them, it's just he knows their great concerns have to claim the answer from hidden false. He back his side from presumptuousness, but not have dominion over me, and I shall be blessed, and so great transgression. With my mouth and imagination, my heart be separate inside a low mind, the rock of my demon. Now slash known the Lord's praise. By his father never have a name, can come and done not this in heaven. His head day by figures death, so his friend that does his own taste of delivers and evil. Feels camp from the grief of almonds. He tore off by